Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lester Zoom Headley. I'm your host for today. I'm going to tell you something about myself and why people keep asking me, why do you use the name Zoom Headley? Is that your real name? No, Zoom is not my real name, but I phrase it Lester Zoom Headley because that is a nickname that I was given. The name Zoom, the life and times and reflection as I share this one with you so that you can understand how the name Zoom occur. In Barbados, most boys and characters receive nicknames throughout the various journey of their lives. At school, at play, at home, what have you. I grew up without a given nickname. I thought I had escaped it. I was never given a nickname when I was growing up. That's the truth. Then one day, it changed my way of life. Then entered my sporting journey with many wins and successes, joy and accolades. Years before race walking, that's the sports I took part in. That's the sport I took part in. I took part in many other sports, but that's the one I excel in most of all. I played cricket, I played soccer, I played tennis as my chosen sports in my early childhood years. All in that order, with many endeavors and total ecstasy and satisfaction. It was indeed because I enjoy playing games. Most boys in Barbados growing up in the Caribbean will tell you that they played a lot of games and they enjoy them. As normal boys would oftentimes tends to do, I took part in track and field events and was successful. My pet events were 200 and 400 meters. I was always very, very, very quick on my legs. That's the gospel truth. I was very good and had many wins in track and field events. You would have found me training full time for all these events, running long distances to get myself conditioned, running to the beach and back. Many boys and teachers from my time would oftentimes say, man, he's hard at practice and he's good at it. He's going to be an athlete. They keep saying, they thought I was going to be a cricketer. Then they say, he's going to be an athlete. He's going to be an athlete. So I was putting in the time and keeping the effort and everything and make sure that I encourage my athletic endeavors and career. I was fully satisfied with the drive I had. Somehow, I switched to, I switched from those events and went to race walking, speed walking. Okay, I naturally find the rhythm likable and the turnover of the heel and toe and moving of the hips, keeping the head steady, of tremendous enjoyment and a good discipline. That's the truth. It was a very good discipline. As I got faster and faster, I know that was my calling. I honestly and truly enjoyed the training, the preparation, the process, the discipline. That's the truth. And the adrenaline. I really did enjoy it. One evening, this is how I got my name. One evening at practice session around the Garrison Savannah in Barbados, a journalist was looking at the guys prepare because we had a lot of competition in those days. And he interviewed us after. So he asked one of the race walkers, one of the athletes concerning my speed and progression in the art form and competition. I was winning. I was beginning to win. I was very fast. I was doing very good timing. 5K, 10K, 20K. Marathon kind of like worked me a bit hard. But anything that quick speed, quick turnover, I was the ideal man for that. The athlete shared that I will be there or thereabout in the race or somewhere in the pack or trailing behind and looking settled. And this is when we do the track race, And then eventually there will come a surge and I will catch up with them and go ahead of the pack. He said that I will be zoomed past them with exceptional speed. Hence, from that very interview with a top journalist and how the guy said I zoomed, the guy wrote about me, how I zoomed past them. The guy wrote about me in the top Sunday paper. A full 2-page I had. I still have that paper at home in Barbados at my home. Lester Zoom Headley. Zoom into another victory. Lester Zoom in a win over Noel Husband. Let me tell you who's Noel Husband, because you will know who's Noel Husband. He was one of the most successful, if not the best, race walker ever produced in Barbados for many, many, many years, right? He was unbeatable. He was outstanding and he was of great excellence. I always say, I'm going to beat him one day. I'm going to beat him one day. And I have had the privilege of beating him, but I was not as good as him, but I was younger and I was faster at that time. I was having victories after victories and making a name for myself. Lester Zoom Headley in the headlines. Zoom into another victory. Zoom defeated them. Zoom walk away with the top prize. A lot of these articles, kept popping up in the paper, in both papers at the time. And I love the name Zoom, and I kept it and say I will use it as a marketing ploy. So then when I began to publish my books and become a published author, I would say Lester Zoom Headley and make sure that I write that. And that stuck with me and stuck, and would not leave me. So hence the name Lester Zoom Headley. I represent my country, Barbados, at the time in events and competitions in the Caribbean, as far away as Mexico. Was successful, very successful in Puerto Rico, Trinidad as well. I represented my country there. And I was pleased and proud of the preference that I have selected in my athletic career. Maybe I might not would have been an outstanding cricketer, outstanding soccer player, but you have to go sometimes where your heart and your mind tells you or direct you to go. So that is how I got on the name Zoom, Lester Zoom Headley, that nickname. I also kept it everywhere I go. Even now I'm doing content creating, you'll see that I say Lester Zoom Headley. Lester Zoom Headley. Because I like the name. A lot of people don't like the nicknames, and some people like their nicknames, but some don't. I'm one person that love my nickname, Lester Zoom Headley. It was a household name in Barbados and athletics at the time, and that's why I used it. And not only an athlete I was also I am a published author. I'm a published author, content creator right now on social media platform, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I was also a former police officer. I lived in Turks and Caicos Islands. Golf operation retail manager. I was successful with that as well. Human resource employee manager, change agent for service excellence, motivation, and people's development. I serve in that capacity, and that was my top one. I love that one because I love talking with people, training people, guiding people, and being there. And it was at a top hotel in Barbados, a diamond rated hotel, in the hotel where Tiger Woods got married at. And I really enjoyed my time there as well, and all the given positions. I was in 3 different positions there, and I really did enjoy myself. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Lester Zoom Headley. It will always be a pleasure to remember my journey. It will always be a pleasure to share various points at various times with you and have great reflection, because sometimes you need to know who you are listening to. You need to know their history, their career goals, their journey in their career, and what make them so versed, and sometimes what they're sharing and having a discourse with you as they move along through life. That was Lester Zoom Headley in a nutshell, but there's so much more concerning me and on me on the World Wide Web. So you can follow me there, but this is a little story that I decided that I'm going to share with you. So until next time, folks, keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. Always make sure that you can share your story with someone. They will listen. Thank you.